The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters at Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to Icons of Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Patty Teal. Today's guest is Tyler Daigler. He's a real estate agent at Marshall Reddick Real Estate based in Orange County, California. Tyler has achieved great success buying and investing in Orange County, where he provides superior service to his clients. His hobbies include working on his Corvette, golfing, and surfing. Welcome, Tyler.
Hi, guys. Happy Friday. Good to be here.
I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Did I?
Got it. You got it.
Okay, good. That would be the worst. So I forgot to check with you. So I love the area that you're in. I spent most of my adult life in Santa Barbara, and San Clemente in particular is my son's favorite place because he's a surfer, and it's so amazing there, and it still has that small town vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I'm a little biased because I've been here so long, but I think it's the best city in Orange County personally. I was born and raised in New York. I've been all around the country, visiting different cities and looking at different places to invest and so on and so forth. And no matter where I go, there's no place like San Clemente.
It is adorable. Luckily, I have a friend that has a house there, so I sometimes do go and stay at her place. So
hit me up next time you're down here.
Okay, I will. I love it down there. So we usually start with the guest story. So Tyler, can you tell us, I know you said you're from the East Coast and you transplanted here, but what were your business moves before you ended up doing what you're doing now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I went to school for finance, and my thought process was I'm going to Wall Street, right? And I was in New York. That's where the money was. And so I was excited about that. And I graduated in the midst of the collapse, the last Great Recession, which was caused in the finance industry. So I couldn't get a job to save my life. I was interviewing against people 30 years older than me with 30 years of experience. And I'm like, yeah, I was in the investing club. They're like, get out of here. There's just no way. And so, I ended up just having conversations with my father about life and goals and all of that. And he told me that, since it's most likely you're not getting a job in the industry you want right now, why don't you go? What are your dreams? What do you want to do? And I grew up as a skateboarder and snowboarder. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. So I did research, found out all those jobs were in California. Though that industry is very who you know, and I didn't know anybody. So I started applying to jobs out in California. A guy I went to college with had gotten a job at this company called Schneider Electric. They were a Fortune 300 energy management company, the largest energy management organization in the world. And they had a sales program that he had become a part of. So went through the interview process. I got hired. They moved me out to Southern California. And for the next 3 years, I was selling in the IT sector. Absolutely crushed it. Top of my class every year. It's very easy for me to make friends quickly. And that has definitely been a positive in being in sales, right? So I've always been very successful in selling, dominated that program. And while doing that, I'm going to movie premieres and magazine premieres and industry parties, trying to kick in doors and find who I need to know to get into that industry. After 3 years, I was able to do that. I got into a snowboarding company called Flow Snowboarding, and they were located in this cute little town down south called San Clemente. And I came down here and I was like, all right, yep, found it. This is it. Moved down here. And went into that company. I was running their customer service and inside sales team. After a number of years, moved up into managing more of their global teams, ended up in a global operations position. Then we sold off that company. We had also acquired a paddleboard company during that time. So we ended up selling off both of those organizations. and I had to put myself out of a job. And I was like, okay. I was like, now what do I want to do? That was my dream job. They were the most incredible 3 years of my life. I got to meet heroes and snowboard with heroes and go to dinner at their families' homes, and just the most incredible years of life. And I didn't know what I wanted to do next. And I was out at dinner with a buddy, and his wife is a successful Orange County real estate agent. And we were just talking about business, and and I was asking her about her business, and she's like, she was overwhelmed. She had a lot going on, and she's like, and I, not to be boastful, but in my circle of people, I am known for being a really good sales guy, because that's what
you are.
And she made this comment that I wish I had someone like you to join my team. And I was like, whoa, let's talk about that, right? I always like going to open houses and so on and so forth. So we made a deal that if I got my real estate license, she would mentor me. Now at this time though, I still needed income, right? Because I had just sold the company and now I need to work. And so I made a call back to Schneider. They had always said, hey, if you ever want to come back, just make the call, because I was so successful for them for years. Made the call. They brought me right back in. They gave me an excellent position. And so I then got my real estate license while starting up back at this organization. I again crushed it in sales for Schneider. Just absolutely. We have 162,000 employees, and I was on a #1 sales team one year, and the next year we just missed #1. Right. So we were doing well. And at the same time, I am learning how to sell real estate on nights and weekends. And so for the next 3 to 4 years, 3.5, I'd call it, I'm working in corporates, 9 to 5, but it's 8 to 6, 8 to 7, whatever it may be. And then I'm selling real estate nights and weekends. So for a number of years, it was a real 80, 90 hour lifestyle for a long time. And the real estate was just it was a passion business. It was a side business. My sphere was getting into that home buying process. And, I had gotten to see how a lot of people were doing business, and I just thought that I could do better. And it got to the point where I was successful enough in the real estate industry that I could walk away from the corporate world. And I wasn't going to, but then COVID hit and mind shift happens. And I was like, the IT industry at the time was having supplier issues. So we were having problems getting product built for me to even sell, while real estate was going like this, because everyone's like, I need a house. And so I saw the opportunity. And at the beginning of COVID, I burned the ships and went out on my own.
Wow. You went out on your own right at that time. That's great. And how are things going?
It's going great. It's enjoyable. It's working for yourself is a completely different thing. But it's awesome. It's been a great experience, and I've learned a lot.
I imagine so. And I'm sure the jobs that you had that involved sales really taught you a lot that you could take with you into this business.
Oh, absolutely. I've completely just ripped off and duplicated everything I learned there and just put and I'm very fortunate to have 6 to 7 years of some of the absolute best sales training in the world before I got into selling real estate.
So for those that don't know, San Clemente is just a darling little surf town in Orange County. Now, do you also go to the other little cities that are in Orange County, and maybe not so little, like Newport and Irvine, or what are your specialty cities?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, honestly, I have kind of 2 sectors. I have the sector of my business that is clients coming in from, advertising or marketing or calling into the office, things like that. In that particular sense, I'm at Orange County. I've gone as far north as Lakewood, and we'll go down into San Diego, but for me, San Clemente, San Diego's right here. And then I've gone as far inland as like Corona, right? The other sector of my business, my friends and my family, for those people, I will go wherever they need me to go within reason.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Well, that's wonderful, and it is certainly beautiful. And great shopping in Newport and Irvine and some of those places, quaint
Oh, yeah.
little, quaint little stores, go to San Clemente or Laguna Beach. So a lot to offer, and the beach
We're
is
very
wonderful down
blessed.
there. Yeah, definitely. So one of the things that you said you wanted to talk about today, which I haven't talked about with any of our other realtors, is the importance of the reviews. And I noticed you have a lot of reviews. So I wanted to get into that because I think that could help a lot of other realtors to build their business. So how do you get your great reviews? I mean, I know you're great, so people want to write reviews, but you must ask them for them as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, just being very cognizant of in today's world, especially in Orange County, real estate is hyper competitive. We have like 14,000 agents here at any given time. And the first thing someone's going to do is they're going to Google you. So what comes up, right? And I had noticed that when I started, if you Googled me, you'd find action sports article type of stuff. You would find my social medias and forums I was working on and things of that nature. But when you were searching Tyler and real estate in the area, it was bringing you to Tyler, Texas. And I was like, well, that don't work. That's not what I'm trying to do here.
That's not going to help you at all.
Yeah, no. And so I was just cognizant from the get-go that having credibility was going to help get me where I wanted to go. And growing up, like I said, we were all about skateboarding and snowboarding. That's all me and my friends did. And this was the time of like the skate videos and CKY videos and the Jackass videos and all that kind of stuff. So everywhere we went, we had a camera and we filmed all of our stuff, and we would make edits and make videos and do the music and make them all cool. And then getting into the snowboarding world, a lot of that was branding. Right. So I learned a lot about branding, the importance of branding, how to effectively brand, things of that nature. So it was just natural for me to put them together. Right. I've always liked filming. I've always enjoyed making video and photo and all that kind of stuff. And so when I started selling my first homes, I was asking my clients, hey, would you make a video review, right? Because I thought it would stand out and make good content for my Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And they agreed, and it was a hit. All of their friends loved it. They were sharing it with their families, this and that. And on my second or third one of the clients was like, this is such a great gift because we'll be able to look back on this in 30, 40, 50 years and see us buying our first home and look how young and cute we were.
That's true.
Stuff. And I was like, wow, this is a really valuable thing for the client as well. So I just kept going with those. And that's really how I started my company. And so today, it's just from the very beginning, and something that I instill in my clients when we start working together is, my goal here is to get the absolute best review I can from you, right? I want you to brag about me to your family and friends, and so on and so forth. So I need you to tell me what I need to do in order for you to leave me a 5-star.
Oh, you tell him that from the beginning.
That's how I start the entire relationship.
Wow, well, that's amazing. I don't think most people take that approach. So that's a big tip.
Yeah. Yeah, and it allows them to be open. I've had people come back and, because real estate's stressful, no matter, how smooth it goes. And I've had clients come back to me and they're like, yeah, Tyler, I'm going to need you to do this if you want that 5-star review. And then I'm like, okay, this is great because it opens up that line of communication. They don't have to like beat around it. They can just throw it in my face. And I'm like, okay, good. Thank you for telling me what you need.
Yeah. Right. No, that's a very clever and effective approach for everybody. And it helps the customers to feel like you're really going to work hard for them for that 5-star review.
Totally.
Yeah. So I know you have some beautiful reviews on your website, and your website is tylersrealestate.com. But where else, before they're working with you, those are beautifully filmed, by the way, and they're maybe just doing their own with a cell phone.
Oh no, I've got a filmer. Shout out to Jonathan Shelgosh here in San Clemente.
Okay, we'll give him that shout out.
Great guy.
Okay, great. So where do most people look for those reviews? Is it Yelp? Is it, where do they find the most important reviews in your thinking?
Totally. So my goal is to make sure that people see my reviews before they're looking for them, right? So that's a
Right.
thing I do. I put my reviews out there a lot, but I have them show up everywhere. I think the most important ones, in my opinion, so the most important one I think to this day is the Google review. Not a lot of people are using that yet. I'm also guilty. I've got more on Zillow than I have on Google. However, who knows if Zillow's around, for the rest of this industry, who knows what broker you're with, so on and so forth. If you're getting your reviews over onto Google, that Google's always with you. So you take that for the rest of your life. And there's no one that's not using Google, right? So I like the Google review. I like the Zillow review. A lot of people obviously are looking on Zillow. It's the most used real estate website in the world. So I think it's important that you have reviews. I also think it's important that your broker prioritizes reviews as well, because you can have 35 reviews and someone clicks you and your broker has 6 and it just doesn't look right. Like at Marshall Reddick on Zillow, I have something like 40 right now. Then you click on Marshall Reddick in Orange County office alone, we have like 300 5-star. So it really validates, right? It builds credibility and it shows credibility, because we can talk about how great we are all day long, but it doesn't hold a candle to hundreds of people talking about the incredible experience they've had, that they would recommend us. If you're thinking about working with them, please do go ahead. It's going to work out. It's a very, very heavy tool. And then I really like Instagram. I think a lot of realtors don't have luck on Instagram. A lot of businesses don't. I built my business with Instagram. I got a lot of my clients from Instagram. A listing I have right now. I met this guy. I was out at a restaurant waiting for my takeout order, having a beer. And I met a guy sitting next to me. We started talking about real estate, because what else do I talk about? I said, Tyler's real estate. I say, hi, I'm Tyler. Like, oh, you must be in real estate. And we're naturally talking about that. I make it a point whenever I meet somebody, Instagram is my new business card. I start with that. Hey, are you on Instagram? Right? If they're not, I have a business card for you. But if you are, now we connect in a way where you see my family, I see your family, you see what we're doing on the weekends, you see me doing business, it's fun. And I like to put those video reviews I do, they are a very strong component of my storyline on Instagram. So as people are flipping through, they see me, I'm golfing with my friends, or, the Corvette's broke down on the side of the road again, or whatever it is, right? And then it clicks onto my awesome clients talking about the incredible experience that they had with me and whatever. And it's, even if the people don't watch it, it just clicks, it hits. Year and a half after meeting that guy, having a beer, waiting for my food, my Instagram goes off. It's like, hey, we're thinking about selling the house. Would you like to interview for the position? I said, sure, of course, come over. We have a great conversation. And as we're getting to the end and I'm asking for the business, he goes, well, you know what? He goes, I've been following you on Instagram. Literally his words, I've been following you on Instagram for a year and a half. He's like, and I can tell from your Instagram that you seem like the kind of person who still has friendships going all the way back to high school. And that's important to me. I feel like I know you more than the other realtors I interviewed. I'd love for you to list the house. Instagram literally brought me as a, we're in escrow, so I can't say the price, but it's a high price point San Clemente home, beautiful home and a wonderful family.
Oh, that is a wonderful story that works so well for you. Do written reviews work as well that don't have the video component? Are they still effective? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I like to put those in my story as well. The text reviews. I have a new review. I do like a bi-weekly newsletter market update to my sphere. And at the bottom of that, I have a new review every week, so everyone sees a new review there. And like I said, they're on Google, they're on Zillow. I can see that people are looking at them. I can see that people are Googling. I think it's effective to have all types of reviews. I just, in my personal opinion, really feel that the visual reviews, the video reviews really send it home.
I got it. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you've ever gotten a bad review. It sounds like you just go after that 5-star review and provide excellent service and you get it, and that's wonderful. But what would somebody do that had 1 or 2 bad reviews that generally they were good, but they had some bad ones? Is there any way to do damage control on that?
I think that there's a lot of them that can be brought back. It really just depends on the relationship and how it went. But in our experience, so I personally haven't gotten bad reviews yet. I've had some people not leave me a review, right? I had one client who, no matter what you do, they're not going to be happy. And there's always people like that. And so, I didn't push for them to leave me a review after I asked and they did not. But, through the brokerage, we've gotten a couple here and there. Like I said, there's always people who aren't happy. And, what we do is we reach out to them and we just have an honest conversation about, okay, what happens? What can we do to fix this? We saw the review, just bring it right up, right? And, reviews are extremely important to us. They're what people see, and we want to provide great service. And we hear you, we wish you would have called us and talked to us versus just putting this online. However, we hear you, that's the form you're comfortable communicating in. Cool. We hear you. What can we do? Can we fix it? And then you can reply to your reviews underneath. So if you're able to fix it and they're not willing to go in and change, right? They can go in and change. If they're not willing to, then you can respond underneath and, hey, it was so great talking to you, John Smith, or whatever. I'm glad we were able to remedy this situation. If you ever need anything, you have our number and email. We hope that we can make this better in the future. And then at the very least, you're showing your potential clients that you care and that you went back, you tried to remedy it, and especially in Orange County, the majority of the population is very wealthy and they're very successful, a lot of business owners, right? And everybody knows that there's some people that no matter what are going to leave you the worst review ever. You can't. But if you show that you're trying to go back and remedy that situation, I think that that's a big respect builder.
Yeah, absolutely. And the market has changed in that way. I mean, the world has changed in that way. It seems like because I'm older, reviews weren't a big deal years ago when I bought some properties. But now, I mean, my kids, they're not going to go to a restaurant. They're not going to go to a store. They're not going to go anywhere without checking out the reviews. So it's very, very important.
You think about it, when you go on Amazon to buy anything, you're buying a toothbrush, right?
Yeah.
15 years ago, you walk into the store, you're like, that one, I like that, right? Cool. Now you're like, all right, sort by, I want 30,000 reviews of people that are digging this toothbrush so I can feel good about it.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Well, what you shared about reviews is really, really valuable. I like that. So I'd like to just ask you a little bit now, though, about your business, the houses that you sell, who the people are that are buying in your area, the average price. I'm getting ahead of myself. So what is the average price range? Let's start with San Clemente.
Sure. So in San Clemente right now, I mean, it depends on what segment of the market you're looking at, but your standard sale, our average is like 2.2 million right now.
Okay.
Yep. We're about 60 to 70 days on market. So it has absolutely slowed down, just a number of months ago is 1 to 2 weekends, so on and so forth. Now, in that $2 million price point, we're seeing about 70 days or so. Business has ticked up a little bit in the last few weeks. When the rate hikes happened, it put a lot of buyers on the sideline. Everyone's kind of just waiting to see what's going on. But with the rates coming back down and inventory coming back up a little bit, we've seen a big uptick in escrows and deals going into business in the last few weeks.
Have there been a lot of price drops after people put their house on the market?
Absolutely. Yeah. And especially depending on when you hit the market, right? If you hit the market 2 months ago at the top, you've been reducing the whole time, trying to find back to normal. And then you're seeing, new competitor homes coming on the market at those price points that you've gotten down to. So there is absolutely the adjustment is happening. But that's just what it is. And that's just those higher price points too. In the entry level price points here in Orange County, it's still highly competitive, multiple offers, bidding wars, all that kind of stuff is still everyday norm in your entry level price points.
And what would be an entry level price point for somebody buying their first home, maybe a 2-bedroom, a smaller house? What would the entry level be for that?
Yeah, so Orange County 2-bedroom, you're going to be at the absolute entry level price point. It's going to be like $550, $600, and that's going to be something that needs carpets. It's going to need paints. It's going to probably need appliances. You know, the kitchen's going to be older. The bathroom's going to be older. That kind of stuff.
But that's interesting because that's, like I said, I came from Santa Barbara. You can't get something at that price, and in San Clemente is equally beautiful. So $556, that would be a pretty good investment for somebody.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And Orange County, I don't feel that we've really seen our price appreciation come anywhere to slowing down. In San Clemente specifically, we've always been this hidden gem. People didn't work here because there was a commute. You're driving to Irvine, LA or San Diego, right? There was a commute, and you're paying the 73 every day. I've done it. It's like $250 a month just for the tolls, right? And now with gas, it's like, oh my God, right? So we were always kind of this hidden little thing. And then work from home has become standard place, especially in large tech industries. There are plenty of $400,000 combined incomes around this country living in cities nobody wants to live in, but the job was there. And now they can work wherever they want. I get the phone calls every single week. I've got, what would it be like to live somewhere with perfect weather, right? And a lot of people are moving in. San Clemente specifically, our southwest portion of San Clemente is going to be Corona Del Mar in the next 10 years. A number of homes. Two handfuls of homes this year alone have been leveled to build brand new modern farmhouses. They have a magazine down there for that part of town now. The market will run away on the entry level price point buyer sooner than later in coastal Orange County. So from an investment point of view, great place to put your money.
It sounds like it.
And then you rent it out, and then you can come back whenever you want. Go move to Missouri. Do it.
Love it. Love it.
Come back, you come back.
To a gorgeous, gorgeous spot. Yes. With great surf if you happen to be a surfer.
Oh, the best.
Yeah. And so what are some other areas that are popular that you sell a lot in besides for San Clemente?
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, all areas of Orange County are popular. There's really nowhere that nobody doesn't want to be. All the way up to like Silverado Canyon with these 100-year-old hunting cabins on the side of mountains that are mudsliding and catching on fire all the time. Like you can't keep a house on the market, right? So it really all depends on your segment. So my segments, I'm at one of two ends. I'm either selling higher end San Clemente kind of stuff, or I'm doing a lot of entry level first time home buyer business as well. We also do a whole investment thing, 1031. We move a lot of money out of California into offices in Texas, Tennessee, and Florida. We do a lot of that kind of stuff too, but my specific Orange County is kind of in here. So we do a lot of San Clemente. We do Laguna Beach, a lot of Huntington Beach, a lot of Santa Ana, a lot of Orange, a lot of Irvine, some Costa Mesa, places like that.
Okay.
Rancho Santa Margarita, Rancho Mission Viejo. We do a lot of stuff in there as well.
Okay, cover a nice area there, and they're all different. Each of those has a different flavor. Yeah. Well, gosh, this has been so interesting. I'm wondering if there's anything I forgot to ask you that is just going to be on our listeners' mind going, why didn't you ask him that? Is there something that you'd like to share that you think is important for people to know about your brokerage or your area and buying or selling there?
Yeah, totally. I think the biggest question on everybody's mind is, is it a good time to buy real estate, right? And everyone's been on the sidelines for the last little bit. I mean, you're seeing stuff in the news about price reduction and all that kind of, jazz, if you will. The news is always tends to be on a negative side because you click on it and stuff like that. So, Orange County specifically, there's never going to be a real bad time to buy. Yes, the people who bought at the absolute top of the market before the last crash, it took them a number of years to get back to normal. But guess what? If you had bought in a house in Kansas, right, at the same time, it would have taken you the same, it would take you longer, right? Orange County, we were back in a few years.
Right.
You cannot control whether or not the market's going to go up or down. And I mean, statistically trying to time it, very few people are able to get that right. You know, the delta
tough.
between you waiting a number of years and continuing to pay $4,000 a month for a 2-bedroom rental versus just buying something, the delta time and time again shows that your net worth over time is worth more the earlier you can buy real estate in your life, right? So I think that's probably what people are thinking right now. That's what I know everybody's thinking right now is, should I buy right now? Should I wait? I guess is the bigger question.
Yeah, it's that question too. Some people might feel bad because their friend bought a few months ago and their payments are going to be lower, but maybe the price of the house was higher. So there's that give and take.
Correlation. There's a direct correlation between interest rates and home prices, especially here in Orange County, because affordability is the number one key. Everything's expensive. There's no cheap real estate here. It doesn't work like that. And everybody wants to live here. So there's always competition. It is very rare to just go see the one you want and you get it, right? Interest rates absolutely correlated. So the reason that these price adjustments happened so harshly over the last couple of months was because interest rates rise so harshly. They needed to put a brake on the economy. That's how you do it. You make it expensive to buy stuff, right? But we've already seen now the rates have dipped back down below 6. We're at 5.5, 5 3/4 right now. And what's happening? More deals going back into escrow, more multiple offers, right? So now as the rates have come down, affordability has gone back up, the prices of homes are going to continue to go back up, right? So, we believe currently that coming into Q1, Q2, we'll see some lower interest rates, lower than when they are now, right? Hoping that the inflation reports and jobs reports all come out correctly, or at least better. So you could, and I hear people making the strategy of, I'm going to wait to Q1, Q2 because interest rate's going to be lower. However, when that happens, everyone else is going to be able to afford again, and you're going to be back out in this multiple bidding situation, putting over, right? Yeah. So do the math, and does 0.25% on your interest rate over, assume you own the place for 7 years, are you going to make more at this higher interest rate owning, right, then continuing to rent for the next 6 months to a year and then doing it then, right? You can always refi, of course, but that's what I would ask buyers watching this to do, is to do the math, right? Not necessarily look at it, okay, prices are coming down, I'm going to wait, I'm going to time the market, blah, because the home price is only one component and the interest rate is a huge component as well.
Well, that's a great way for people to think about whether they want to buy right now. So thank you so much for that. And if people were watching and listening and want to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. You can just visit my website at tylersrealestate.com. You can also just Google me, Tyler Daigler, or Tyler San Clemente, or Tyler San Clemente Realtor. Any of those things will bring me up. All my contact information's on there. I'd ask you to follow me on Instagram and I'll follow you back and we can become friends.
Aren't you happy? I took a picture for Instagram.
I love it. Thank you.
All because of you. So thanks for the reminder. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being on Icons of Real Estate.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
I appreciate it too. You have a great weekend. Bye-bye now.